World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Live from Soul City. Good morning, community. Good morning, community is a platform where members of the community can find out more about businesses and community-based organizations, how to get involved, volunteer, or donate, as well as some of the resources and services they provide. At Good Morning Community, we offer encouragement, we share resources, we encourage you to hold yourself accountable, and most importantly, we want to see you win. My name is Eartha Watts Hicks. I'm the CEO of Eartha Tone Books, publisher of Love Changes, Graffiti Mural, and a planner as a girl's best friend, as well as a freelance writer, editor, and PR writer and affiliate for blackpr.com, executive editor for Harlem World Magazine, and a longtime member of the Harlem Writers Guild. I am your host. So today we're kicking off the holiday season with our special guest, Ms. Ina Norris. She is the founder of the Kwanzaa Film Festival. And the 9th annual Kwanzaa Film Festival invites audiences to celebrate Black culture, creativity, and empowerment through cinema, running from December 26th to January 1st, 2026. This hybrid event, in person and virtual, showcases short films, feature films, documentaries inspired by Kwanzaa's 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith, each highlighting a powerful story of resilience, artistry, and community. Welcome, 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 Ina.
Thank you so much for that. Well, I feel welcome too. Thank you very much. Yes.
So, what you're doing is absolutely amazing. One, in that you are the founder. And if you could tell us what was your motivation for starting the Kwanzaa Film Festival?
Well, I guess basically my family always celebrated Kwanzaa for 30-something years. And I also was a playwright, and I started getting interested in films, and I started going around to different film festivals. And one year I was like, okay, based on my mother saying that she didn't think she could do the festival, the Kwanzaa event any longer, I was like, wow, that's horrible. We need our Kwanzaa event. So basically, I was trying to figure out what kind of film festival I would want to have. And then I realized that it should be Kwanzaa, because that's something that I feel very attached to in film. So I just put it all together, decided to do a film festival that would focus on community and unity. And at the same time, you can talk about the Kwanzaa principles. So it just made sense.
Wow. Now, I heard you mentioned that you're a writer. How long have you been writing? And And what genre of writing do you do? I mean, you mentioned playwriting, but please,
Yes. Well, as it started with poetry, but when I really think about it, it started with just telling stories when I was younger, like maybe 5. At 9, I started writing poetry, and then all through college, I just kind of kept records of all of these poems that I wrote. And then I didn't really still consider myself a writer, even though I was writing. But what happened was one day, um, I had a son and I wanted to raise money for my son's school. And I just didn't know what I had. I don't have anything. And then my best friend named Pamela Lee, she said, why won't we just take all those poems you have in the box and bring them over to my house? So I brought it over to her house, and we had like a little gathering. It was like 4 women, and they're pulling out poems. It's like, this is so good. This is so good. You should make a play out of this. And I wrote my first play called Nobody Loves a Black Little Girl When She Becomes a Woman, to raise money for the Black independent school in the Bronx called the Learning Tree Preparatory School that still exists. And then it was one play after next, after next, after the next. And then I just began to feel like I am now a writer. This is what I do.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. And we got to give it up for the best friends, because I have a similar best friend experience. And sometimes we don't even see ourselves until our best friends say, well, why don't you go and pull out those notes, or go in that book you've been writing in and take some ideas out and use them.
Yes.
So, and it's like, we don't even see it. We're like, I don't know what to do. But the best friend is like, wait a minute.
Yes, absolutely.
So, got to give it up for them holding us accountable.
Yes.
So, so you were writing for a number of years, and then you started turning your poetry into plays.
Yes.
And how did you start the Kwanzaa Film Festival?
So after I did a series of plays, I produced plays, for in many venues, and I think our last venues was Symphony Space Theater. We still have the longest running plays that have ever been at Symphony Space Theater to this date. And we also started people doing plays at Symphony Space Theater. So that's just a little, trivia. But I just remember saying, like, some of these plays could be films, and then I said, well, I really want to learn. And so I started being on other people's film projects. And one of my friends asked me to direct his film. It was called It Was Just a Word. And I directed it, and I really did enjoy directing it, because I saw that you can use your creativity even in directing. It's not just technical. Like, there's certain visions that you have to create. So I would go to these film festivals, and honestly, I would feel like I was on the outside. Even if my film was in the festival, I would feel like nobody knows me. No one's talking to me. It's just it's not warm. I want to have a festival where we're talking about community. We're talking about cooperative economics. We're talking about collective work and responsibility. We're talking about things that are meaningful to our community. I don't want to go to a festival and feel like I'm on the outside and that we're all competing against each other. We're not there to really network. Really, there's one piece of diamond and we're going to knock over each other to get that diamond. I didn't want that kind of a festival. So our festival is really based on community principles, not just in the films, but even in the attitude, the atmosphere, listening to people. They're able to call you. They're able to tell you their problems. They're able to get things resolved. So I just wanted it to be what it said, Kwanzaa, not just about film. And then we do the principles. We do the libation. We do recognize people who have gone on before us. We get to do all of that.
Now, I love how you explain that, because just coming through the 90s and the 2000s, there was this buzzword called networking. And when I hear networking, I think hand out business cards, introduce yourself, get their business card, walk away, right? But we really don't network until we understand that we are a community, and we are a village, and we're building community.
Right. Creative.
So once we connect with someone and invite them into our space and invite them into spaces and places where we share ideas and information, then that's how we grow at what we're doing. And it's not just a matter of hoarding all the resources for yourself.
I could give you an example. Yesterday, David Lee called me, and I was so excited. This is Spike Lee's brother. And why I was so excited is I was like, you see me. You didn't have an agent call me. You didn't have you see me, you heard me, you let me speak. You didn't act like you were rushing off the phone. This is what I experience when you're dealing with the arts world, because they're still trying to get the nugget. They're not trying to create community. So they don't have time because they're still looking at this other prize, not knowing that we are each other prizes. When we come together, we are stronger. So when he spent time on the phone with me, I was like, and he wasn't trying to rush off, and we was trying to go through the details about his photography and how he can, show some film pictures that were never seen for More Better Blues and all of that kind of thing. I told him, I appreciate you because you knew that there was a person on the phone with you, not just a task or someone. I'm a person, and no matter what, we should still be meeting each other soul to soul. That's what we are. We are soulful people. We need to get back into our soul, and we will see ourselves grow so much better, like Soul City, right? Like the network we're on. But we really need to really connect soul to soul and actually, so we can actually enjoy our wealth, because some people have wealth and they can't even enjoy it because it's soulless. Yes.
And then not only that, sometimes the wealth isn't just the money.
Right.
The wealth is the relationships. The wealth is the sense of community. The wealth is the health and the joy of it.
Yes.
That's amazing. Having that conversation with Mr. Lee, and I have to ask. Along your path, your journey, did you find any mentors? Was it easy to find a mentor? Was it difficult to find a mentor? And then my next question is, do you mentor others?
Okay. That is a really hard question because you take what you need from everybody that you meet. Unfortunately, it was difficult for me to find a mentor, even as a playwright, because I was stepping out in a different area. I was always a social worker, a teacher, and I wasn't a part of any of the theater community. So at that particular time when I was writing, a lot of them didn't come out to my play. They had no idea we had sold out crowds for years at the Symphony Space, which holds 800 seats. On a weekend, you're talking about 4 shows at 800 seats. And when they finally came, it was like, how did she get these people in here? They couldn't understand it because I wasn't part of their community. But what I do is listen, not assume that listen to a little piece of this one and listen to a little piece of that one. And then I came from Hampton. That right there is mentorship right there. Hampton Institute, at the time it's Institute, but university, they sent you with a mission. They sent you with a plan. They sent you with an idea. So you also had that kind of background. My parents were very cultural, so that was important. So mentorship, getting to mentorship is extremely important to me, because as you mentor, you're mentoring yourself. You're learning a lot of new skills. This summer, I had worked with New York City young producers. It was supposed to be 24 young people. It wound up being 16, but we created a documentary, which is not finished. It's called the Kwanzaa Cipher. However, the program ends at a certain time, so we have to pick it back up the next time that I am able to get them, because they go back to school. So they work during the summer. We did a lot of the work during the summer, but it's just important to mentor them on how you get things done. They learned a lot. One of the things they kept on saying that they were so afraid of pitching. And now they felt so confident to call people and ask them to be in their documentary, pitch people to give things, because their biggest fear was talking on the phone. That was their biggest fear. So, the mentorship was a wonderful thing. And also teaching them how to work together is important too, because we get mentorship from our friends. Like you said, my best friend, who's no longer with us, she mentored me a lot. I mean, when I worked for social work, she also helped me with that too. I remember her taking me like, you got to do this and you got to do that. So I find mentorship is just a part of me. Is very important. I think everyone should, at least, if you can't do, a lot of people take one person on. I think there are many people who call me their mentor, even though I didn't think I was being their mentor. It's just the behavior part of being a community person. You just automatically have that in you. So yeah, mentorship is important.
Yeah, I usually say grab a hand and take one. So grab someone else's hand and then grab somebody behind you, and kind of we pull each other along. The Dwyer Center. That's one place that I know that is a resource for those who are looking to get into filmmaking. What is your experience with the Dwyer Center?
Well, I have done events at the Dwyer Center. Actually, the Kwanzaa Film Festival had our closing event at the Dwyer Center last year, and we were able to do an art exhibit, show a film, and do a talk back. And our talk back was basically what was the name of the film? We see so many films, I can't remember the name of the film, but I know our talk back was about transformation. So we had people who had been incarcerated come and talk about how they transformed themselves, because in the film that we did see, there was someone who had to transform themselves. So we had that part of it, and the artwork was from formerly incarcerated, artists that came in and put up their work, and that was a great thing. And then on my birthday, we were at the Dwyer Center and we showed footage of my play, Nobody Loves a Black Little Girl When She Becomes a Woman. We had food, we had a talk back. A lot of people found out things about me that they did not know because some of the cast came and they were telling, oh, you don't know she does this, you don't know she does that. I'm like, shh, I don't tell all my business now. But yeah, it was a wonderful thing. And yeah, I hope to go back to the Dwyer actually, and do some things, even if it's just some workshops and that kind of thing. It was a good experience.
So this year's event, part of it is going to be at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture.
Yes. So our very first 2 days, December 26th, we open up with the Kwanzaa Film Festival Unity Award Ceremony and Reception. So we honor about 7 people. Right now, we're really doing groups like 500 Men Who Make a Difference is one of the groups. WACR Radio with Tina and Kasaya. We're going to be just kind of honoring everyone, all of their radio shows. There's some people we're waiting on. I think Dougie Fresh we're waiting on. I don't have it all here in front of me, but there are going to be 7 people that are honored, or 7 groups that are honored. We have entertainment, and we show 4 short films. We're going to show our youngest filmmaker. Her film will be shown that day. We will show our.
How old is she?
She's 15.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we show our youngest filmmaker, and then we show our oldest filmmaker, which will be he's 78. And then we're also showing a film this year. My partner who started the Kwanzaa Film Festival with me, she passed in June. So I wanted to show a filmmaker from her hometown, someone that she mentored. So we're going to be showing one of her films on that day also. And then we're also we wanted to highlight someone that was from Harlem. So we're showing that film as well. I don't know why I don't have the names right in front of me. Sorry, I'm trying to. Yeah, so we're showing all of those. Let me see if I have it here. No, I don't. So anyway, there's just going to be some films that's short and enjoyable. You have some entertainment. You will do the libation, the Kwanzaa celebration. We'll do the roll call for the filmmakers that are coming. We'll walk the honorees out with the drumming and all of that stuff. But before we enter in, we do a best dress impromptu fashion show.
Ooh.
There'll be a part of it. Come dressed, and you wind up walking the red carpet. We do that at the reception. So really, really fun night. Then the second day we are back at the Schomburg again. And with that Schomburg, we're going to be doing a block of films. Let me see if I can get that one out. Please, I should have had this in front of me. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
but anyway, so with that, we're going to do, so we're opening up with In the Hour of Chaos, Hip Hop, Art, and Activism. And that film features Chuck D.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is a really good one. And I want to say it's really good for educators because they show in this film how you can use hip hop to educate a community and to even talk about some of the principles of Kwanzaa. Actually, it comes up in the film, how activism, how, self-expression, self-determination, and all of those things you're going to identify in that film. Then we're going to be showing a film called Dignity. And an actress that had been on Broadway, Lori Hayes, is starring in that film. And, she was one of the first Black actresses on Broadway. Then we have Inherit the Legacy, which I love because the main character is a young person. And that film is really talking about Kwanzaa, like for real. Like most of the films have different subjects, but that film really delves into Kwanzaa. And you could bring your whole family to it because it's really a family film. Then we're doing Mothers Knows Best. And that's by Monda Webb. She's out of Manhattan. I'm not going to tell you anything about that film because that film is incredible. It's incredible because it's written by a Black woman, and you might watch it and you would just wonder, who thought of doing it this way to make a point? And it delves into racism in such an odd way that I would not have imagined it. And then we're going to show this other film called Blue by one of the producers of Best Man Holiday. And she has a film in our festival. And so that's going to happen. And then after, we'll do a talk back about female filmmakers and empowerment for women creatives. And then we will go into a reception. And then we're doing a 30th anniversary for Waiting to Excel, showing the screening, doing a dedication to Whitney Houston and Gregory Hines, because they both have deceased. Again, like I said, we try to honor people who have gone on before us. And I should mention the day before, we will be honoring Paulette as well, the person who started the festival with me. And then we're going to have a talk back. It's going to be more so like, after we see this woman stuff, what do men think about film in the 90s and culture in the 90s? So we'll have like Ralph McDaniels, Monty Ross, and other people are waiting to sign up for it. I know I'm waiting for Charles Malik with Phil, who was on Beauty and the Black and some other stuff, and some really interesting people that day. So that's the Schomburg, and then we go back to the Schomburg on Monday, just from 12 to 4, to do the 50th anniversary of Mahogany, which with a designer cultural fashion show. So then on Sunday we go to Maisel Cinema, and we're going to be showing a bunch of films on that day. I don't have them in front of me again. Oh my God. Okay, yes, I do. So we're going to be showing, this is not the day. It's so much. You can look online to get the day. We're going to be opening up with a film that I found very interesting. The film that we're going to be opening up at Maisel's is about how the Black Votes Matter organization. I found out so many facts about that organization that I did not know. I did not know that their house was put on fire. I did not know that the FBI had to move all of those people who were doing that campaign because their lives were threatened. They actually had to learn how to use.
Is that Black Lives Matter or Black Votes Matter?
Black Votes Matter. They did a documentary on it. It's in our festival. It's actually an hour. It is so informative, and it is so many things that we don't know that is happening in the 2020s, that these people were displaced. Like we don't even know that some of the things that happened in the 60s are happening right now, because those stories are not being told in the media. And these documentaries are a way for us to know things that are not going to be told in the mainstream media. So that's what I like about documentaries. You find out a whole bunch of things that you didn't know. And right after we show that documentary, we're showing Coming to Ghana, where this young man from Harlem, he traces his route back to Ghana and he learns about Ghana. So that is, and he takes you really, actually, when you see his film, you're going to want to go to Ghana. You're definitely going to want to go to Ghana. And then we're there like from 4 to 10. Make those, and we have a tremendous amount of films on that Sunday. And then we also have a workshop in the basement about casting and branding with Kia Mason. She's a casting director. So she will be talking to people around 5 o'clock about casting and branding yourself, how to make yourself more marketable. I have done some acting, and I don't really love it, because an actress has a lot of work when they're not acting. They have to keep up with all that casting material. They have to keep up with their look. They have to brand themselves. They have to be everywhere. It's very different than being a filmmaker, So I think that if you're an actor, it's very worthwhile for you to get to this workshop, or I should say panel or discussion, because I know a lot of people come to me, I want to act, but they have no idea if you really want to do it, how much work it takes. So, yeah.
I have several friends that are working actors. What I will do is let them know definitely about the series, the film festival. And I do have like a very specific question. I've gone to a lot of different film festivals, and sometimes the films are very artsy, and then sometimes the films are absolutely amazing. And they're so amazing, it makes me wonder, okay, well, how come this is not in the big screens all over the place? Because some of the most amazing films will be in a film festival, and I won't see them in the movie theater. So in those instances, what happens with the films? What happens with the filmmakers? And how are those filmmakers finding reach now, especially since media has changed?
Well, I think one of the things, and hopefully we have a workshop called How to Monetize Your Content, and that will be happening on, I believe, Monday, but look on the website so that you can get specific information. But there are many challenges. Unfortunately, a lot of times these short films that people do are merely resumes to get a bigger project or to be taken seriously. And I mean, it's just so much work going into a short film just for it to be a resume, but this is true. But nowadays there are opportunities because we have streaming sites, we have Tubi, we have YouTube, you don't have to. And also I always say, what you put into it, don't have an unrealistic expectation of what you're going to get out of it. So what I mean is, if you spend $10,000 on a film and you think that you're going to get $1 million or $5 million for that film, and that you're going to necessarily be picked up by Netflix or something like that, that's unrealistic goals. But maybe you might want to travel that film in the college circuit, and they'll pay you to bring it. Or maybe you might create an event around that film and you would get some of your money back for the fact that you produced it. You have to be just as creative about the film that you produce as producing the film. Producing is creative too. You have to figure out, how am I going to make it worthwhile that I did this film? Short films are being accepted more than ever before. We are working with a few streaming sites, which I won't name, but for the filmmakers, we will connect them to them that are looking for shorts and that will take on shorts. A lot of the streaming sites are like 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. And the majority of the money goes to the filmmaker. But what happens with the filmmaker, like if it's 80% or 70%, the streaming site is taking a massive amount of work. They're not giving you the attention you need. For me, personally, I would say that if I feel it's worth putting on a streaming site, then I have to still invest in promoting. I still have to push my film so people will want to go and see it. So don't think that you hand it over to someone and your job is done. It's not going to be like that. So yeah, I've seen very beautiful films that just seem to disappear. And it really hurts me because a lot of times especially when we first started, we used to have certain streaming sites that wanted to meet the filmmakers. And I'll say out of 100% of the filmmakers, maybe 5% of them would actually follow up with those streaming sites. Even if you decide not to take it, go and take a look. And some people just get in the film festival trap where that's all they do. It's film festival, film festival, film festival. And, that's fine and dandy. But at some point, maybe you want to do something outside of the film festival and get your work. Look at some conferences. I went to a conference where they showed my film in Detroit recently, and I was very shocked because a woman was there, an older woman. Not that I'm so young, but she was like in her 80s. She said, I saw your film on YouTube. I never would think I would meet the creator of that. And I was like so shocked because I never really, honestly, I'm always waiting I'm guilty of wanting to wait till I put out my feature. But yeah, just know that it can be a resume, give you some respect in the film industry when you're doing these shorts. But I understand it's such a competitive.
Yeah, and I got two responses. One, our community has this way of, or has been conditioned in the home, and let me put it that way. Many of us were conditioned in the home. Don't ask anybody for anything. Don't ask anybody for anything. So when it comes to that call of, hi, I'm a filmmaker, I'm trying to raise money, that we're almost at a handicap in calling up people to solicit and fundraise and ask for money. Simply because we were brought up and raised not to ask anybody for anything, not a dollar, not a dime, not a piece of candy, not a stick of gum, nothing, right? So as creatives and as artists and filmmaker and writers, it's like once we enter into different spaces, we feel like we have to pay for everything all ourselves, get the money ourselves, find the money ourselves, or just work extra hours when everybody else is fundraising but us.
Yes.
I
agree with you totally. And I want to say this. It takes a lot to be a creative, but you have to practice saying that this is not just yours, that you feel is worthy to be bought and paid for by someone else, that it is a product. Just like if you had made this dress, you wouldn't make it if you had a store and not sell it. You wouldn't just wear every dress that you made if that was your business. So you have to really believe in your product. The second thing that I did was I used to practice, this is way back when, that I was pitching to Barack Obama when he was president. I used to practice that because I was like, so if I could put in my mind that I could pitch to Barack Obama, I could pitch to anybody. So I used to practice pitching to him. Just start practicing seeing someone that you are worthy. Just because someone's in a different position than you are, they are in that position because that's their calling. You have your own calling. And just start to believe in yourself in that way, that I am worthy. Why would I have been able to do this unless it needs to be out there? It's a good product. If you don't believe in your product, it's hard to promote it. So you have to first work on, do I believe it? Does it represent me? Is this what, if I do, then why am I not selling it? I grew up in the home the same way. Don't be a beggar. Don't beg anybody. You're not begging. Like when I used to see homeless people begging for money on the train, I used to always think that same way that they beg for money on the train, they could be on Wall Street and getting on those phones and getting investors. They don't know it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's the same passion. It's the same ask. It's the same uncomfortability. Just break that barrier and ask, and do know you're going to get a lot of no's. And that's what I wanted really so much for the young producers, New York City Young Producers, which is a project under the Kwanzaa Film Festival, to learn is to you're going to get the no's. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Just accept it. Okay, no, they don't want it. They don't want your dress you just sewn. They don't want to be a part of it. But there are people who really do want it, and they want to say that they were a part of something, so always ask, but I do know that that's a barrier that our community, we talk about it all the time in the business. I work with J.B. Morgan, and he always tells me, why is it so hard to get a group of people who's able to raise money with you? I said, I can't keep them because they're uncomfortable with that.
Right. And also too, like there's that thing with our race just not being comfortable asking anybody for anything. There's also that thing with our agenda and feeling and knowing and believing that no means no, when males tend to believe eight no's equal a yes.
So I have a little trick for everyone that I work with. I tell them, when you go into a meeting and you're asking for something, always have 3 things. Don't go in there, you want one thing. Do know that you want 3 things, because people have a hard time saying no 3 times. So say, for instance, if you go in, you say, well, would you sponsor the Kwanzaa Film Festival? Oh, you can't sponsor. Well, would you make a donation? Oh, I can't do. Well, can you buy 1 ticket? By the time you get to the 1 ticket, they're gonna like, okay, fine. But the little trick with the no's is, so you get to have the 3 things in your head, and maybe if you want to have 5, so that you may not get all no. And then at the end, you might say, well, can I call you next year? And they're like, oh, yes. So you feel good that you ended with a yes. So there are tools, there are ways to do it so that you can still feel that you've accomplished something, because that's what I do with the young people. I want them to feel that it's okay. You came out. They gave you the email. That's great. They said you could call them next year. That's great. And then you start to empower yourself more, because you take baby steps, because we definitely have had that. And particularly another thing, I remember in our community, especially females, to say no, thank you, not being able to take things either. That was another thing. Are you hungry? We would go when we were little. I remember.
Oh, God.
Do you want to take something? No, thank you. Would you like? No, thank you. My mom was always saying no, thank you. And so when people would offer, it's still a challenge to do more than what I expect them to do. I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, no, say, yeah, you can do it. Let other people do stuff for you.
Yeah, that I no, thank you. I don't need any help. It's we gotta deprogram ourselves.
Yes, especially in business.
Especially in business, especially as business women. Yes, we nurture and we take care of others and we show up. But when others try to show up for us as well, we have to let them, because and I had to have a friend tell me, as much as you show up for other people, it's selfish to not let people show up for you.
So what I try to do is detach myself. Like, when I'm doing a project, I have to not get in my feelings about it. So that when people say no, or people, it's not me. I'm like, oh no, the project is before me. I'm second. The project is the most important thing, is to get that done. Because if I get, you can get in your feelings a lot about, this, since we spend a lot of time, independent producers and writers and whatever, we spend a lot of time doing this a lot to get not as much as someone would think. Even the big boys are not getting as much as people think. They may act like they are, but they're not getting what other people of other ethnicities get for what they do. They're not most of the time.
Yeah, I get it. Especially the writers and on the writing end, it's with our skin folk, it's a little different. The resources are a little different, and the opportunities are a little different. Now we embrace each other, but the dynamics of the industries that we're in don't favor us the way they favor other races. And I'll just explain it that way. I also want to piggyback on something else you said about going to the conferences and taking all the information and not placing one call or showing up to one meeting to introduce. You introduced yourself. You took the business card, but did you call? Did you follow up? Did you call? Did you email? So, it doesn't make any sense to come back with a tote bag full of business cards and postcards and flyers.
That's me.
If you're not going to, or at the very least, if there's a phone number for every single phone number, log it into your cell phone. And then if you can put a note as to where you got it from and the date, do that. But try to follow up with every person at least within 3 days.
I am so horrible at this, and I'm not going to lie, to the point that I am now going to give that to someone else to do, because I'm very friendly. So when I go out and I meet all these different people and I'm like talking and getting business cards, but also I learned, don't take 100 business cards with you. Try to discern who you want to have your business card. Don't take everybody's. Decide. If you had a limited advice, I'll say to myself, I'm going to meet 5 people today. I'm going to be very intentional. I'm going to talk to those 5 people more. And then I know I will follow up more with them. Me trying to get, as many as I can doesn't work well for me. And that might work well for someone else, because I have books and books and boxes of business cards, but at one time I had like this almost like photographic memory of a business card. Like I could remember the business card better than I could remember the person. And then I'll see that, like I'll meet that person again. I'll say, I have your business card. I got that business card 10 years ago. Like, I don't know. It was a thing, but I now don't grab at all these business cards. Just try to find, if I go to a conference, who's significant, who are the people that I'm really going to follow up, who makes sense, because unless you have a team of people, you can't follow up with everyone. So I'm a little more intentional.
I find that, a couple things. Over the years, I had been storing them. And like first years ago, I was excellent at storing them. I had like little slots in the binder and just kind of flip, double-sided flip. So
we're doing the same thing.
So between the saving them, whatever, right? Then I found that like now, if I have time in the commute between the event and home, I'm either texting the person a note, hey, join me on Instagram, or I text them and then I follow them on Instagram, and that helps me to make use of that contact immediately, especially if I'm doing it on the commute home. If it's like on the bus, you could do it. On the train, not so much, but.
And that's another thing, just to, since we're sharing, one of the things, I was out recently at a film festival that I really adored. And actually, I'm going to steal a lot from this film festival next year. And I also challenge myself to meet the person who owns the place that or started the thing. I always challenge myself. And when I was there, I saw people moving around, and I was like, I don't know if you know Able Cine, the place, Able Cine. It's where they get the big red cameras from, and all the first cameras come. It's a really like $1 billion operation. And I had been there some years ago, and all of a sudden the man's name, because I had his business card, popped in my head. And I said, I'm not going to leave here until I talk to him. And sure enough, he was in jeans. Everybody was dressed up. I was like, he's got to be the one, because he ain't dressed up. People who have money don't be looking like some, you know. And so I went up to him and I said, are you Mr. Cine who owns this place? And he was like, yeah. And then it became this big thing. Now, what's so interesting, that the support he gave winds up going to one of my friends, but he had a meeting with her or whatever, but it doesn't matter. That's residual work, because then my friend, she's like, she's a filmmaker. She's now pouring into me because I kind of gave her this big old contact, took pictures with the man. He took pictures with her aunt, because she did a documentary on Jane Kennedy, the first Black woman sports person, and it was in my festival. Mm-hmm. And she also told me that when she came to my festival, she got 10 different jobs from coming to my festival. Now she's going to 180 something festivals, and no festival has given her as many contacts as the festival that I have. And I think because we opened the door to say, this is community, this is Kwanzaa, we want you to meet, we want you to connect, we want you to work together. And I think that energy flows through the festival. So that's one of the things. But trying to meet the biggest person in the room, because they used to tell you always know the secretary, always know the aide. No, that is not really always the best thing. Try to find the biggest person in the room, approach that person, look them in the eye, and make them feel that you are their peer. And that is a really, really good thing to do. Even when I went, yeah. Sometimes it will not work, but most of the time it will.
Like, you know, what's funny? I had like my own little method, because I'm kind of on the shy side, except for when I'm doing spoken word, right? But otherwise, I'm like, you know, shy and unassuming. So if I'm somewhere, I'll look for the mother. I'll look for the person's wife. Because usually the person's wife has their ear.
Yes.
And if I introduce myself to the gentleman's wife, I'm like, I understand what this is. You understand what this is. This is so that you understand and we understand each other. Can you please help me get your husband's attention for a moment?
Absolutely.
And that's.
I remember I went to an event years ago with the Modell family. Mm-hmm. And the wife and I became really, really chummy. And she even invited me to it. Again, my follow-up is horrible. She invited me. She's like, I would like for you to come to the home. And she got so chummy with me. So you're right. Sometimes it's the wife and the mother. And because we're women, that works really well. Because sometimes if a man has their wife in there and she sees you aggressively talking to her maid, sometimes they'll walk over to you and stand besides that man. So in that way, but I do challenge myself because I am reserved, and you may call it shy, but it's more like a reservedness or don't want to be in someone else's space. I have to give myself a challenge. Mm-hmm. You know, yes. I remember my best friend, we used to have these back in the 90s, and you know, we used to have these challenges, like how many we would go out and we say who you would win if you had the most business cards. So who could get the most business cards? We used to do that because it helped us grow as business women, you know, and we used to challenge ourselves.
I love that you and your best friend challenge each other that way.
Yeah.
I've had similar stories that didn't quite work out that way, but it's a similar story. I'll tell you at a separate occasion. But I do love how well, number one, we do need friends to motivate us and to encourage us and to hold us accountable. I say accountability partners are everything.
Yeah, they are.
Because they know our best ideas are like right in front of us. The goal is like right there. And sometimes there's a little piece of us that is afraid of success.
Right.
So, our accountability partners, our best friend, what I call a village, which is why it's important to connect yourself with a network of similar artists who are walking in the same direction.
Yeah. I was just telling someone, because my whole team has been kind of shaken up since when Paulette passed away. She had 5 people underneath her that did not come back. So we are really at a deficit this year. And then, although she didn't work with us directly, I don't know if you know PJ, right? Pajani Flory, she just died in a fire on Thanksgiving Day. She usually kind of works with us the last month. So everybody's like feeling so down or whatever. But I always was saying that and the reason why I liked working with Paulette, there's 3 kind of people. There's people who work with you, work for you, and work against you. You'll be surprised how many people who are on your team that can work against you and don't even know they're doing it. Then you have the person who works for you. That's fine, but they need direction. They don't take any initiative to do anything on their own. And so if you don't ask and if you don't tell them every time, they're not going to do it. But the person who works with you is the person that you value the most, because that person is with you. They're keeping time with you. They kind of know your schedule or what your modus operandi is and all of that kind of thing. And that's the thing that I'm missing, because Pam, my first, the friend that I keep referring to, my company is called Inner Productions, right? That's the production company. And it was me, Pamela Lee, Juliet Smith. And then Pam eventually, she was, was assistant commissioner of special services for children. She climbed the ranks. So she kind of left. She also was the secretary with the Greater Chamber of Harlem all the way up until her death. And Julia got into her field, and then I was left there trying to find the same kind of people, and it was really, really hard. It was extremely hard. I didn't know that business partners could feel like a divorce. Like, oh my God, this is horrible. You're out there searching for those same kind of people the whole entire time. And then now I'm feeling that with Paulette. She is just so hard to, the way that we work together, it was amazing. And it's really hard to replace her. So I don't get the work with, I get more the work for and the work against without them knowing that they're working against it, but they're trying their best. But I will eventually find a match, because it's best to work with someone. It's not easy working by yourself.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Let me do this. Let me remind everyone who's watching, please visit the website, the Kwanzaa, and that's spelled KWANZAA filmfestival.com, COM. Again, it's www.thekwanzaafilmfestival.com. Please visit the website. And you're on Instagram, on Facebook. What's your favorite?
Instagram is Kwanzaa Film Festival. You can look at that. And then it also has a Kwanzaa Film Fest. And then for Facebook, Kwanzaa Film Festival again. Twitter, Kwanzaa Film Festival, but we don't really do Twitter anymore. You know why?
I know why.
Right. So, but they haven't taken anybody off. That's the thing. But so you can find us. You can find me, Ina Norris. I post everything that the festival does. I post, and even more sometimes. So you can follow me as well.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, we're on TikTok too. Kwanzaa Film Festival. Yeah. I don't, somebody does it for me, but we do TikTok as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to follow you on all the socials because I'm at Eartha Tone. So it's like Earth Tone, the color, but my name is Eartha. So it's Eartha Tone. Okay, so I'm going to follow you on all the socials. And I had a question for you. How do you feel about TikTok and AI?
Okay, so when AI came out, not like I don't have so much to do. I started an AI Kwanzaa Film Festival inclusive because I wanted the African American, the Black community not to be the last to get involved. So I met this man, his name is Nico, who is a gem because he started AI in the late 70s and 80s. He's one of the pioneers. And so he took me all to these conferences. And when I would go to the conference, I'm like, oh my God, there's no Black people here. And there's no women here. It's just Asian and white men. That's it. So I was really committed, but I kind of have to get back into it because I just didn't have the resources. He's still interested in helping me find the resources by some of these AI communities. We talked to Bronx Community College. They would be a vehicle for us to host the AI inclusive, but I'm very much, I don't like the idea of using it for creativity, but for letters, for assistance, for helping you with flyers. And the reason why I say for creativity, so say for instance, if I have an idea, right, and someone else has a similar idea, AI is likely to give us the same thing. And then you're thinking you had original work when other people have very similar work or almost the same thing. So write your own stuff. You can have grammar correction and all that other stuff, but I'm a little leery. I just think more so grammar correction and all of that in the creative side. But I am going to learn more about AI. That's why I wanted to do an inclusive, bringing people together so that we can learn together and we won't just be the consumers. We can also be someone that could actually make money off of AI. And that's what we want. We don't want to always just be the consumer.
Right. And it's so unregulated. It's like real wild, wild west out here with AI. And we don't know where it's getting its content from, where it's getting its answers from. I think it's throwing everybody into the pot and peeling a piece off of every artist that ever arted the art.
Yeah, well, the guy that I was working with, Nico, he is going to be helping to set the standards of boundaries and like the rules and I guess the laws that he's going to be one of these people who are working on that. And he's out of Greece. And I'm glad you brought that up because this year our virtual program is going to be out of Greece. I haven't posted that on the website yet, but you'll be able to see films virtually with GD Discovery Network, which is a television network out of Greece that goes into 40 countries. So we'll be working with that and seeing how that turns out. That's something new, but they've been interested in some of our films because the common thread is hip hop. Most countries and Greece is very heavily into it. And we had some films that were about hip hop and they wanted to learn more about our culture. Although they only have 50,000 Africans in Greece, they still were embracing us. And sometimes you can't be a prophet in your own hometown. Sometimes you just have to go somewhere else to be appreciated. And then when you go back home, people will appreciate you. Oh, you in 40 countries? Oh, I know. Guess what? Be on my network now. Oh, let's start a network, now whatever. But yeah, that's something new that the film festival is doing that I met the people through Nico.
Okay. All right. So December 26th, at what time at the Schomburg?
6 p.m. Dress your best.
6 p.m. Oh, yes. 6 p.m. Dressing my best at the Schomburg Center for Research and Black Culture on 135th Street and Lenox Avenue, also known as Malcolm X Boulevard. Right across the street from Harlem Hospital. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. And also, too, the tickets. You have one ticket fare for everything? Because I saw that.
No, yeah, it's no. If you want an all access pass,
Mm-hmm.
you can get a ticket for that, which is all you go to everything. But no, you can do it by the day because some people just like a day pass, and some films you can just do it by the film. Like Save is a feature, but everything else is in a bundle. But a feature film, you can do it by the film.
Okay.
So there's multiple things, but if we have special events, that's very different. That is going to be on another page. You'll see the special events.
Is the special event included in the all access pass?
I am including it though. I am including it. Yes.
I saw the all access pass and I started counting up all the numbers and I said, I think I like this pass right here.
I'm gonna accept it. I'm definitely gonna accept it.
Yeah, and for those who would like to attend but don't have time in their schedule, you can also make a donation. And it doesn't have to be a huge donation. It could be anything. It could be $5. It could be $10. It could be $20. You know, and just know that your donation is going towards an organization that can truly use the money to support other artists who are looking to create films that are for us. These are our stories. So
right. It's 57 filmmakers this year.
Wow.
Last year was about the same. Yeah, we all over. Remember, we're also closing at the Mount Vernon Public Library as well. And we're going to have a day at the Revolution Bookstore at the same time that we're at the Schomburg and Maisels, one of the days, so like at 3 different places. We're also putting a film in one of the churches. We'll be showing a film on a Saturday. So we are moving around a bit. And of course, the virtual programming.
And wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I saw the piece about Mount Vernon, and that's in January, correct?
No, Mount Vernon is our last day. At the evening of that last day, December 30th.
Oh, December 30th.
In the evening. Now, as far as January is concerned, of course, we do faith-based films on the very last day because faith is the last day of Kwanzaa, which, you know, we try to put in things that match the principle, but we'll probably be back with some films for Black History Month. So look out for that too, because we get a lot of films. And then there's some films that I would love to just show again, you know, even from the past. They're just good films. Like you said, a lot of films. And then what, you know, would love to show more. And our goal is that eventually we'll have our own network. Maybe we'll somehow co-opt Soul City or something. I don't know. But I do know that if you have any volunteers, that's another way to see films. Volunteer, come and volunteer. And we'll make sure you get to see some of the films.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Ina. Thank you so much, Ina Norris. And again, this chat was about the Kwanzaa Film Festival that will be running from December 26th to January 1st. And you can connect with Ina Norris and the Kwanzaa Film Festival at Kwanzaa Film Festival on Instagram. She's also on Facebook and she's also on TikTok. And thank you everyone who joined us today. Have a lovely, lovely holiday season. And you might, if you are there, you will see me in my African attire walking the runway on the red carpet for the Kwanzaa Film Festival, trying to win a prize. But thank you so much, Ina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.